Hello everyone! Today my husband and I are headed to the Chicago Botanic Garden, which is one of my favorite places in the world, and we are going for the Orchid Show. Now they do their Orchid Show every year. It usually runs for about a month, starting sometime in February and ending in March, which is perfect because by that time it has been a very long, cold, and gray winter here in Chicago, so being able to go in the greenhouses, remember what it's like to feel warm, and also see a bunch of beautifully colored orchids is always needed at this time of the year. So we are going to head out there. I'm going to take you along with me. Penelope will not be able to come, but you will have to move because that's my jacket. It's my jacket. I don't think she cares. But let's go ahead and head to the Orchid Show, where this year I think the theme is the 60s. Well, it is the day after, but I loved the Orchid Show so much I forget how much of a boost I get from being surrounded by flowers. So the best part for me was not only just seeing the flowers, but hearing all the music from the 60s, because even though I was born in the 80s, I grew up listening to what my parents listened to, which was what was popular in the 60s. So it was very hard for me not to continuously sing as I walked around, because I don't think that's what other people were there for. Not only did I feel like I was back in the middle of summer, but I also felt like I was reliving my childhood. So that was really, really great. Also, we stopped at Chalet Nursery, which is maybe like 10 minutes away from the Botanic Garden. Every time we go to the garden, I have to stop by Chalet just in case. Now, I didn't go into Chalet with any idea of what I was going to get. I knew I probably didn't want to get any actual living plants at the time, but I did get some stuff for the garden. The first thing I got was this garden fairy. It is about 19 inches tall. It is made of resin, so it's not very heavy at all. I'm deciding if this is going to go somewhere on the rooftop garden or in the greenhouse. And I might just bring it down to the greenhouse today and put it inside and see how I like it in there. I don't know, I feel like the greenhouse on the garage deck is a bit more of a modern feel, whereas the rooftop decks are a bit more like chaotic cottage garden vibes. So it might fit in better up here, but we'll see. I'll move her around, but I think she's so pretty. There were actually two, and I kind of regret not getting the second one, but this was $129, so I didn't feel like getting two, but I like this a lot and I'm excited to have it in the garden. I also got this teeny tiny little fairy sleeping on a leaf because I saw myself in it. If there's one thing I would like to be doing, it would be sleeping outside on a leaf. And I did not even mean to wear the same color as her today, but we both have brown hair. We both clearly love bright pink. So I think this is just going to sit in the greenhouse as well. It could go in here on my bookshelf, which maybe I'll do that during the winter, but I think I would like seeing this just kind of tucked up next to a pot down in the greenhouse. Isn't she cute? This was not $129. I think this was like $6 or $8. And then I got these two snails that I'm going to stick into the parkway. So the parkway for us is what we call the area between the sidewalk and the street. And no offense to my parkway, but it is kind of ugly. So one of my goals this year is to make it really, really pretty, but it's hard to plant in for a few reasons. One, it is basically all shade. It might get, like one half of it might get a couple hours of sun, but there are two trees in that space that once the leaf canopy fills in, keeps it in shade all day. Also, because there are two trees in it, it is very hard to plant around the roots. There is a gigantic maple tree that is taller than our house, and then there is a smaller Japanese maple, but the roots are everywhere. I basically have to either like divide root balls in half or even down to a quarter to try to fit a plant in there, or just start really, really small plugs. So I've added some containers down there. I have plans for it this year to actually put the time and effort into. Oh, and the last issue is that cars drive by there and park there, and the exhaust and dogs. So there's just a lot of issues in the parkway that most of my other garden areas don't have to deal with. But I do want to try to make it look a little prettier this year, and hoping that these snails will do that. I also have some butterflies and ceramic flowers that I'm going to put in there as well. But those were all the garden decor items I got. And then I got some bulbs. They did have their dahlias out. So I normally get my dahlias from Gethsemane Garden Center just because it's here in Chicago versus the suburbs. But the last time I was in there, which was a few days ago, they did not have their dahlias out yet, but Chalet does. And I got this one, Dahlia Blue Boy, because I am drawn towards the more blue leaning purple colored flowers or blue flowers in general. And I have a lilac thyme dahlia, but that is more on the purple side. This one is more of that bluish lavender color. So I'm excited to try this out and see how it does in the garden. But what I'm gonna do is keep the tuber in this bag until early April, maybe first or second week. And then I will plant this either into a plastic nursery pot if I'm going to transplant it into another elevated bed, or I'll plant it directly into a 7-gallon grow bag, which is what I'm leaning towards if I think that's what I'm going to grow it in permanently. So either way though, I will be planting this inside in early April to give it a head start, and I won't be moving this outside permanently until after last frost, which again, usually for us is around mid-May. And that was going to be all I got until I was walking out and I passed by this. And because it says Patio City Garden and I have Patio City Gardens, I wanted to try this and see what it was like. So essentially, what it seems like is that they have put together a collection of bulbs that can be grown in containers that can give you color throughout the season. So what they have in here is there are 8 gladiolas. The variety is Glimini Blondie. There are 2 dahlias, Go-Go White. These are decorative dahlias. It looks like they're not dinner plate dahlias. 15 Freesia Double White, and then 15 Ranunculus White. So I'm excited to play around with this. It's about 40 bulbs total, and I can start planting these anywhere ranging from March to May for the different bulbs. And I like the idea now that they're putting kits together specifically for urban gardeners, city patio gardeners. They did have a few different color combinations. I went with the white because I think I'm going to put this around the greenhouse potentially. We'll see. I think I'm definitely going to start the ranunculus in there. But I thought this was cool, and I really haven't seen anything quite like this before over the last 6 years, 7 years, 8 years that I've been container gardening now in Chicago. I've just seen garden items specifically tailored for urban container gardeners explode, where when I started there wasn't really as many options for compact plants or a lot of the elevated beds or self-watering pots that I see now. So obviously I will update you as I plant these and see how it does. But I think these, just because they are white, would really pop if I grow them either in the greenhouse or around the greenhouse. So I think that's all I bought. Do you want to quick double check? Yes, it is, which honestly, I was kind of impressed. I didn't buy more. I resisted the urge to buy orchids because I always either kill them or think I've killed them, and then they never really last long in my home. So I decided not to do that this year. But that was the Orchid Show, and that was my little Chalet Garden Center haul. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you've been to the Orchid Show, and if not, I believe it runs through March 22nd, so there is still time to go. But I will see you in the next video.